Hey everybody, Channing Muller with DCM Communications. And one of the things that is a really key and massive undertaking when creating a website is actually optimizing all of the images. So this is one of those tasks that takes a lot of time when I'm designing a new site for somebody or redesigning, but it's also something that should really factor into your ongoing SEO strategy. So I say that because your photos really do a lot for you on your website, right? They showcase what it is that you do, the quality of your work, who you are. They can also completely hurt you in a lot of ways that you may not notice. So let's figure out how we make them work for us. The way to do that is through image optimization. So I'm going to walk you through the process that I use to optimize all photos for my website as well as those of clients and explain the different key terms that really come along with this. So I'm going to share my screen and we'll do this together. Okay, for those of you with a WordPress website, this is what the back end of the media library looks like. All right, I'm using my own website as an example here, but you'll see lots of different images. If you have Squarespace, these are all organized a little bit differently. But there are a couple of factors that you want to pay attention to when you are uploading your images. Okay, and that's the file, like what the Google is actually looking for is they're looking at the file name, the title of the image, the alt tag or the alternative text, as well as the placement of that photo in relation to all of the other words on the page around it. Okay, so what do I mean? Let's look at this photo, for example. Okay, not the best file name, right? Kind of a fail on my part. But the bigger thing is the title, which needs to be specifically like what actually is in that photo. Okay, so if the photo doesn't load for somebody for whatever reason, when you hover over it, the title is the little description that pops up. Okay, Google wants to know that that's accurate. So this is a screenshot of a story about creating brand loyalty. There we go. Have to update a little more. The alt text is kind of what is that long tail keyword, i.e. phrase, not just one word, that could further emphasize for where you want this to show up in search results, right? Because we don't want to forget about the fact that images are part of search as well. So in this case, it's tips for creating brand loyalty. So if someone starts Googling any of that and they are on images pop up, I want this to be one of the things that comes there and brings them to the page where I actually have this loaded. All right. Before you get to actually putting things on your site here, there are other steps that need to be taken into account that really factor into truly optimizing your images for your website and into SEO overall. So I've pulled a few different photos to use as examples here. All right, so a couple of these I'm going to go ahead and open. Okay, so I work with a lot of people in the event industry, which is why these are all kind of event-related photos. But even if you're not in events, this is still going to be really beneficial and you'll be able to take away information from it. One of the biggest mistakes, though, that I see with event planners, as well as anybody really in a creative field, this applies to a lot of photographers, designers, is first let's look at the file name, okay? Kevin and Anna wedding. Now, if you know these people, right, let's say you plan the event or you took the photos or you happen to be their best friend, then Kevin and Anna's wedding, oh, it means so much. To Google, though, that doesn't mean jack crap. Sorry, but it's true. Google doesn't know who Kevin and Anna are, and those are not names that are going to stand out, right? Even when I worked on a site where I was doing photos about Kevin Hart's wedding, we still had to have Kevin Hart in the name of these because Kevin is kind of a generic name. Kevin Hart is going to follow and be shown up in search results. So what you want to look at is how can we optimize this, right? What does this actually be better? Here's another one. Incredibly cool photo. It's going to demonstrate to users why this is cool, why it's the koozies could be that's the focus here. It could be just a unique element of a wedding. There's so many different ways that the content and style of this image can be used on a website to market and sell someone's services. But this title, not only, it's incredibly hard to find, right? You're not even gonna be able to find that in your own files. You're gonna have to dig forever. Whereas if you had a title along the lines of, blah, here we go, of creative groomsmen, groomsmen, koozies, that would be a lot easier to find, both in your files as well in a koozie website and social media, right? If people are looking for this, you want to make and think about things that are going to be clear and also say exactly what's in this photo, right? Here's another one, Joey and Miller, right? 0943-1. So this is most likely the number of photo, right, on a photographer's reel. Makes perfect sense. But again, it's not telling me as a viewer who does not know Joey or Miller what's actually happening in this picture or why I should care about it, right? Event people and wedding planners in particular, this is for y'all. Unless people know the actual couple, no one looks at your website to see photos of the two of them and all the kissing and all the things. They want to see your venue. They want to see the overall experience that's happening there. They want to see photos like this, right? Is this for the florist website? Is it for the rental furniture? Is it for the venue, the lighting? There's so many different things to take away from this that the fact that it was Joey and Miller's wedding is not what people care about. So let's optimize this for what they are going to care about, right? And we're going to say it was greenery table runner for wedding, for a farm wedding, right? It could be for a rustic. Rustic is better. Rustic wedding, because that kind of looks like what this is, okay? Now, yes, we can do keyword optimization, and I can do a whole nother video and all these other lessons of how you actually do keyword research, okay? But I want you to just start taking steps in the right direction. We can optimize further later. So one of the biggest mistakes that I also see people making is thinking, oh, I need you to SEO my site. Sweetheart, it's never done, right? I've been in business for 6 years. My website continues to get work. Anyone else, you're in a website for 20 years. A website and SEO, it's called search engine optimization for a reason. It's an ongoing process. As you are in business, there's work you'll be able to do, okay? So that being said, we've gone through and we've updated our titles to be more reflective of what's actually there. Now, the next thing we need to look at is the size of the images, okay? Image size, like the actual file size, factors into SEO from the standpoint of really big files take a really long time to load, which can increase the fact that someone will bounce off of your site and leave because, oh, it's taking forever, right? We all hate that little spinning wheel of death, at least Mac users do. And then also, if people start to bounce, that tells Google, well, that website clearly did not answer their question clearly because they left really fast. So I'm not going to move that any higher. In fact, I'm probably going to move it down, right? Also, it factors into the point of site speed. The faster your site loads, the faster the information gets to people, the more they will stick around, which means the more Google will like you. So let's check out the file size with these. 6.7 megabytes. Whoa, damn. Okay. If you're going to print this or you're going to blow it up really big, that is fantastic. And I love when photographers send really large files, okay, because that gives you so many more opportunities of how you can use those for your marketing. Uploading it to your website at that size, not so good. So how can we fix that without having to do it for every individual photo, right? I flip over here, this one, considerably smaller, but still 1.7 megabytes. That's large, y'all. You don't want that. So here's the process I found to make it easier. 1, tell yourself, clean up your desktop. It's a lot of things happening. Okay, so I downloaded all of my example ones right here, all right? If I were to upload or try to resize one of these at a time, it would take forever. It would make you so annoyed. You'd be like, forget it, I just need to move forward. So here's the trick. Take all of the photos and drop them into a single folder, okay, so that you can do this next step. Oh, I forgot to do this one. So, I know you're super cute, but Just not going to happen. So what we're going to do is rename this to say bride on a swing at her romantic outdoor wedding, right? Because romantic outdoor wedding, pretty solid for search. Now, even though it's only 3, whether it's 3 or it's 15, as you can see, I've got lots of work in progress here. The next thing you want to do is you grab the ones that you want to do all at once, okay? You then go to this fantastic website, bulkresizePhotos.com. Love it, love it, love it. Grab your photos and you can drop a bunch of them. And it's going to give you all these options of how you want to resize them. Do you want to scale them down? Not in this situation, you don't. You want to address the file size. My recommendation for a solid start is to go anywhere about 300. If you're going to use them for banner images or really wide things on your site, you know, that go across rows or as background images, you're going to need something a little bit larger so that it doesn't get pixelated when it goes across the entire screen, knowing that you're designing for laptops, for tablets, for phones, and for big desktops. Okay, so I usually try to go around like 350-ish or so and see 350, right? Kilobytes, KB. That's a lot smaller than megabytes, okay? We want to just, this is not going to make everything pixelated, but it's going to make it load faster. You can, depending on where you're putting this, go even smaller, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is a solid start to get you headed in the right direction. Now, don't worry about the, oh my gosh, but I can't lose my larger files. Totally agree. You should have those for a future. That's why this automatically is going to download them. Jump to my other screen, because naturally that's what happens. And it's going to put them in a zip file. So you're going to have everything second, right? So what I recommend doing is that you have one folder where you put all of the original files, okay, so that you have them. And then, right, there we go, they start to upload. You open a second folder, right, and when these download, these are all the ones that you were just working on, right, that have downloaded. We're going to double check and we're going to look at their sizes. Instead of 1.7 megabytes, this new one is 335 KB. Okay, so that's a lot better. But if you see, the quality of the photo has not changed. That's why we want to adjust file size and not change the dimensions or scale it. I don't want it to get smaller. I just want the file to not be as dense. All right, so we see how this looks. Much better. Then we go lovely in here. We create a second one that says resized for web. Okay, and in that folder is where you drop the other ones. It helps keep things organized, and it makes sure that you have different photos that you can grab for different purposes. Oh, I don't think I was in the right screen for that. There we go. Okay, so those are going to upload there, and that way I have all of them set aside in my Resize for Web folder. Then we come here to the media library. And this is where you would drag and drop them. If I could get rid of my other stuff. Drag and drop them into your media library. You can also do this if you're just adding them directly onto the page. You can do that too, okay? But now we've got the titles all optimized. Well, now let's look at where we're placing them and the alt tags, right? Because these are the 3 factors that go into how Google looks at image optimization from a search perspective. I'll give you an example of something on my own site that needs to get fixed. So here we have this uploaded. The title is 24. Again, might be my favorite number, could be my staff member's favorite number. Doesn't matter. Google does not care. There's a lot of 24 things out there. So we need to make it better. The first thing is let's update the title here to be, remember, your title in this case, exactly what is in the photo, right? So if the photo doesn't load or if someone hovers over it, they see that little description pop up. That's the title, right? It's telling them this is what's there, okay? So we're gonna say it is a screenshot of Smart Meetings Rising Star Awards recipients. That's what it is, right? Total screenshot of that. Is that what I want for when people find my site though, or find this here? So I need to think about, well, where am I going to place this photo? Photos goes on the press page of my website, right? So all the text around it is going to be talking about how I help my clients get media coverage for and help them win awards where it's applicable, right? That's what I do. So the way to help with this is that I need an alt tag that is going to further describe that, right? So an easy way to do that could be publicist for women event planners, because it happens to be all women in this story. I work with more men too, but it happens to be a thing here. So that if someone is looking for a publicist, they will potentially find this image, right? And when they find the image, they're going to be taken to a page all about the press that I have gotten for women event planners. So there's three things all tied together. So Google likes this and is going to like it on the page from the standpoint of I'm telling exactly what's in the photo. I'm giving the keywords I want the photo to be found for. And both of those things immediately tie into the content that is around it on the page where I placed it. Now, if I grab this and I decide I'm going to put it on a page about creative flower arrangements I've seen recently, it does not matter if I have the best alt tag and I have the best title. It's surrounded by words on a blog about creative floral arrangements. Those things don't match. So Google's going to be like, what the heck? You were just trying to get publicist keywords onto a page about flowers. Those things don't add up. No go. Okay. In which case they could decide to push you down in rankings, or it's just more likely than not, it's just not going to help you. Right. So the three things take away from this, from four, I guess. Number one, pay attention to the file size of all of your photos. You want fast site. You want things to load so that people stick around to see how cool your work is. Number two, your title needs to accurately describe what is in the photo should it not load or someone hover over it, they see exactly what's there. Your alt tag is the keyword that you want those photos to be found for, okay? And then the placement of the photo needs to be on a page with other words that directly correlate to the previous two things, the title and the alt tag, right? Those are the things that are all going to help move you in the right direction of optimizing your photos for search and making sure that even if you have a web page that doesn't have a ton of copy on it, that you're actually giving people accurate information and you're giving Google something else to crawl. Every one of these words in the title factors in to the optimization of your site, right? That's copy they can crawl. Can't crawl of the image. What it is it's crawling the words that go behind it. So make sure they are accurate, make sure they are relevant to the things around them, and make sure that they have absolutely nothing to do with the individual couples if you're wedding planners, because that's not what people are interested in. And that doesn't mean anything to Google, the independent third party that helps to choose where your website's ranked. So I hope you all found this beneficial. Please feel free to post comments and questions if you have them. And of course, you can always reach out to me for more, dcmcommunications.com.